Now let's start off with what KTN has highlighted, and that is the famine in Turkana in recent days. But the dire situation is not confined to Turkana. The threat of starvation is hanging upon thousands of people in the coast region. Many peasant farmers lost their crops after the failed short rains of October and now face a battle for survival until the next possible harvest. Our senior coast reporter Ferdinand Omondi traversed the counties of Kwale and Kilifi and found a people forced to degrade their environment to survive.
Mama Mwanajuma Hashim leads her children in harvesting maize at a shamba in Mwache, Kinango, Kwale County. She leads a 2-acre farm in the hope of a bumper maize harvest, but what she is reaping now is more of a whimper.
Nimekosa sababu mvua haikunyesha, lakini nilikuwa natarajia nipate, lakini mvua ndio ilikataa.
Other areas were even more unlucky. In Ganze, Kilifi County, old Kalzomorandu got nothing at all, in spite of a new system of planting which is supposed to retain water a little longer. With no rainfall, there wasn't any water to retain, and the entire crop died. She is now bracing herself for a spell of hunger. Going hungry is not something new, she says. We harvested absolutely nothing. We planted maize, but all the crop died. Most farms in Ganze are deserted, the plows lying unused in the homes. Hopes are not high for the March rains. The Kenya Red Cross Society estimates that about 360,000 people could starve in Kilifi County alone, with the highest number, 67,000, based in Ganze. If you go around, you will not see even the drought-resistant crops like cassava, she says. There is absolutely nothing. The absence of rain has also strained water resources. We find Bahati Ngumbao fetching water from one of the water ponds dug around the county. It does not look as if it is suitable for consumption at all, but this is the only source, and it is also drying up fast. When it rains sufficiently, the locals say the entire bed is covered in water. But 2013 was a bad year, and they have been surviving on short, inconsistent spurts of rainfall. Now, this pool is shrinking fast, as can be evidenced by the cracking soil, and the locals feel it is only a matter of weeks before it dries up completely, and then they will be in much more trouble than they are in already. Normally, this water pan is restricted to domestic use, but Bahati says livestock owners have started bringing their animals here too as rivers dry up, creating tension.
Juzi natoka kule na hapa kuja na ng'ombe zake na mbuzi zake kuja kunwa hapa. Basi mimi nikimwambia usijana hapa, asema kuna infrastructure.
The persistent drought means the peasants have to fork out money daily to eat, but poverty levels are high and sources of income minimal. The people of Ganze have now resorted to burning charcoal. Trees are falling off fast.
Tuuze makaa, tupate chakula. Hiyo ndio shida ambayo tuko nayo hapa. Hiyo ndio kulima wetu sasa nibaki tuko nao.
A sack goes for a paltry 200 shillings, so one can imagine how many trees may go down until August to sustain the hungry populace. In Kinango, Nyiro Jidzao has turned part of his farm into a quarry after inconsistent rains frustrated his farming efforts.
Hali ya manyunyu ya mvua mahindi ndo vile ikafariki na jua. Ndo namna hali ya changaza cha huku. Hakuna njia nyingine, ni kuchimba mawe. Tuchimbe mawe, tupige kokoto, tuuze, tupate hali ya chakula nyumbani.
Making ballast is a tedious process, and Nyiro has enlisted his entire family. He says it will take them at least 7 days to crack enough ballast to fill a lorry.
Lazima shida uzizoee, na tumezoea, tunaendelea.
When the rains come, this area will not be suitable for farming, but that is not an immediate concern. Only last week, the Kenya Red Cross Society sent out a plea for food and water aid, with its emergency stock running out. The county government of Kilifi has reacted and was distributing food in parts of Ganze, targeting especially the elderly. Deputy Governor Kennedy Kamuto says they need at least 700 metric tons of food to sustain the people until the next harvest.
Tumekuja hapa chini tukiwa na sehemu ya shehena hiyo ambayo ni metric tani 40. Tunazungumzia takribani baina ya watu 1350 mpaka 400.
But with Kwale, Kilifi and Taita Taveta all marked as potential starvation zones, a lot more is needed to keep people alive. After months of waiting for a bumper harvest, this is what many peasant farmers are reaping from their shambas. Hardly does it even qualify to be called a maize cob, but it's what they will have to make do with until the next possible harvesting season in August. The threat of starvation is real, especially for those without buying power, and there are thousands of those in this area where it ranks among the poorest in the country. Ferdinand Omondi, KTN, Kinango, Kwale County.
Sad situation there in Kinango. Let's now return to Turkana, where measures are being taken to assist the famine-struck people. KTN's Winnie Kamau has just returned from Turkana and brings us an update of a region that has become the face of famine in Kenya.
We arrive at the Turkana District Hospital in Lodwar town at the break of dawn, and here we are greeted by the cry of 2.5-year-old Ekwome Rupe. This is the second time he's been brought to this stabilization facility. He is malnourished and suffers from kwashiorkor, diarrhea and edema. But things don't seem to get any better for Rupe since his mother is deaf and dumb. The only little sign language the health attendants have mastered is some hand movements showing what she should do. The mother of 5 children, Awowo Rupe, can only feel the pain and cries of her youngest son. She has seen great improvement when Rupe was first brought here. He only weighed 4 kilograms. Today he has added 1 more kilo to his weight. There are many like him here. 10-month-old Fred was brought here under similar circumstances, and now he is recovering.
Nilimleta tu na shida, alikuwa mgonjwa. Na vile nilikuja hapa akaendelea na matibabu. Na mimi naona na mfurupusa amepona. Mimi naona ako sawa.
We've had a death rate of 0.4%, meaning we've had like less than 5 deaths coming out of this particular facility for the whole year. Yes, no child should die because of malnutrition, but I think because of the technical skills and capacity of the staff, they have been able to salvage the case. And most of the cases die in maybe within 24 hours of admission.
According to a report on nutrition in Turkana released yesterday, the county's nutrition situation has deteriorated and contingency measures should be put in place to ensure the situation does not worsen. Lack of rains, dependency on relief food and high cost of foods has been blamed for this situation.
Asilimia 20.6 ya watoto wako katika ile hali ya kuingia katika malnutrition. Hawako tayari kwa malnutrition, but wako at the risk of becoming malnourished wasipopata chakula.
According to Save the Children and Malin international humanitarian organizations that have been distributing aid in Turkana for the last 8 years, combating hunger in Turkana is something that needs more than just aid distribution.
Malin is joining Save the Children at a time that of the consolidation of the county devolved government structures that we are very proud to be part of and contribute. It's also a time when there are evolving humanitarian needs like the current drought. So we are committed to be involved in this process to support the Ministry of Health in the delivery of needed emergency services.
We want to be a more efficient organization that can achieve the same goals but at a lower cost. We want to be a more effective partner for county government, for national government, and for the other partners that we have in country.
Before we are experiencing a drought situation now, this to me is just a storm before the rain. Turkana is blessed with a lot of water, underground water, with a lot of oil. I think we probably could be the third country in terms of the oil reserves that is on the ground. But these resources are still underneath. They have not come out for us to benefit out of.
The recent discovery of oil and large water deposit brings the irony of a rich but poor region that cannot fend for itself and continue year after year to rely on humanitarian assistance. Emekwe here is spotting signs of malnutrition, and these are some of the statistics that are being reported in many homesteads here in Turkana. The county government and the national government, together with the NGOs, are trying to look for solutions to curb this drought. Winnie Kamau, KTN, Nadapal, Turkana County.
Well, we have reported that 1.7 million Kenyans in 14 counties are affected by the drought and are now facing starvation. This year, as you've seen in our report by Ferdinand Omondi, it is not restricted to the traditional areas. Other areas in the coast region like Kwale, Taita Taveta and Kilifi are facing starvation due to insufficient rainfall last October. The government says it is doing everything possible to mitigate the crisis. Cabinet approved 2.3 billion shillings for drought relief efforts. The PS for Devolution, John Conchella, said in an interview with KTN recently that relief worth 104 million shillings has already been distributed in Turkana. But as the situation continues to worsen, residents are fleeing Turkana, with approximately 30,000 people reportedly fleeing into neighboring Uganda. Conchella said it is a dire situation, but no deaths have as yet been reported.